Metal Cooler. All right, so where do I want to start with this guy? This is definitely a release of all time for Legends, and more so because of how the character was designed over the actual character itself. I think the triple comeback idea, or double comeback with 3 lives, is actually a really dope idea, right? I think this character is really cool, but there is a lot of issues with this character. We're gonna take a deep dive. I'm gonna give you some of my thoughts. We're gonna look at some of what my community has said. We're gonna take a look at this character because, oh man, did they fumble the bag with this one. And we're gonna go into detail why. First things first, I actually made a poll. I typically do this with almost every unit if I remember when they release. I made a poll basically asking, are you excited for LF Metal Cooler? And of course, naturally with a lot of characters, most people are decently hyped, right? 54% of the people that voted with 33,000 votes, 54% of you said you're hype, right? You were looking forward to this character, which I kind of agree. I think, especially when looking at this trailer, he seemed pretty cool. And he is cool. I actually really, as a unit, he's actually really cool. I do enjoy his animations quite a bit. But to go from 54% of you being hype to then 57% of you saying it was an L release, which granted this has half as many votes, it's been out for a little bit less time, but to go from absolutely hype to L is just like, that just sums up how this character has been. And I'm going to give some of my thoughts here after sharing that. I mean, it's clearly been a letdown. And me personally with this character, I'm a bit iffy with him because as a character, he is really cool. Like, I think he is really, 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 really cool. But okay, all right. Let's just start with some positives. We're gonna give positives about his kit, what he does, why I like him, and then we'll go into why I don't like him. I think that's a great way to do this. So, positives. Double comeback. I think that idea in general is really cool when it's not broken. And I would say his is not broken. I mean, we're going to get to that. His is not broken at all. I think the whole point of this character existing is to take hits and die. He just eats stuff. It just gives you a free... It just gives you a free second life twice, right? So like, you know, if someone wants to rush, well, you know, if you have Metal Cooler, they're a little worried about rushing, obviously, because if they rush, then they're just going to waste they're wasting it pretty much. I think his rush deterrent and just deterring any big attack is really, really good. I love the idea, and it's not broken. Like if someone procs your comeback, they don't get punished for it, right? It's not like it's like an Ultra Turles moment where they lose their vanish and their key goes up, or Ultra Golden Razor where they take a bunch of damage, right? I really like that it does not feel broken, and that it does not punish you for getting rid of it, because it is 2 comebacks. I mean, that's a lot. Another thing I actually really like, and this is probably gonna be controversial for some of you. Where is it? I don't know where are the cards. Are they down? Oh, they're down here. His green card, I really, really like his green card. And here's my reasoning. I think this is how green cards should be, especially counter ones. They do not punish your opponent for playing the game, right? It is okay to have green cards that are meant to punish your opponent, right? For example, Legends Limit go Geo Blue. If they use it basically procs the same way Coolers does, except with his, it locks them in. He does a lot of damage. Like the whole point of that green card is to punish you, right? I really like Coolers because this does not punish your opponent. It actually gives you really good buffs, I would say. I think that it is pretty good buffs, right? So let's say you proc the counter, right? All that happens is you get your vanish back. I kind of wish this was infinite, by the way. I feel like 2 times is... I mean, realistically, I don't even think you're going to get it off more than once or twice in a match anyway. But I think they should just make it infinite, to be honest. I think it would be a very rewarding mechanic. But you get your vanish back. Very nice. You heal a little bit, which is nice. I think the healing also should have been a little bit more. But, you know, with the double comeback, it's iffy. We'll get to that. He heals, seals all of their melee actions. Very, very nice. That can actually come in hella clutch, because you can, if you try to, you can get away with a mid-range strike or mid-range blue card or anything, really. Like, you can get away with that for 5 counts because they can't do anything about it unless they have armor break and proc it immediately or pop their main, which I actually thought this sealed their mains, but I guess it doesn't. But anyways, right? Really, you can make someone pop their main. You can force them to react. Like, you can put a lot of pressure on your opponent if you land this. You also get key. You basically get a hand refresh. Like, you guaranteed get a reset. It's very, very nice. It rewards you for being good at the game, I would say. Right? There are some situations where you can get a little bit lucky and get it off, but I like it. It also gives you cover for 15 counts, but I'm gonna be honest, the green card isn't comboable, so this isn't really as meaningful, but it's still good. It also can nullify special moves, actually, which a lot of other green card counters cannot, which is, I think that is very good as well. Overall, this green card, I really like it about his kit. I think this is a very healthy green card. Doesn't punish your opponent, it just rewards you. Like, I definitely think, again, the healing should probably be a little bit more. The vanishing gauge should be unlimited, but it is very nice, right? Let's see, what else do I really like about this character? I'm trying to think of something that I really, honestly, that might low-key be it. Well, and of course the double comeback, but I said that. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's it. Honestly, my two big things with this character, I really like that his comebacks are not overpowered, and I love that his green card, it rewards you for being good. It doesn't, you know, heavily punish your opponent for trying to play the game. Like, it rewards you, which I like. Now we need to get into why I do not like this character. I do not like this character because it feels like they were very, very worried about making him too strong, which I can understand from a developmental and player aspect, because from a development aspect, if you make a character too strong, they're going to make everyone in the game feel useless, right? And honestly, sometimes what can happen too is they release a character to counter that specific character, which is just bad, because then that character that is released to counter that character falls off as soon as that character falls off, and them existing also just kills the other unit. So there's no way you really win with both units, right? Use Legends Limited Green Trunks as an example, right? Legends Limited Green Trunks came out, his whole purpose, like, here, let me pull up his kit. His whole purpose was to counter the android. Well, I wouldn't say whole purpose, but he was, at the time, his biggest purpose was to counter the androids, right? Because, where is it? There's something specific when, if he faces android or something. I think, yeah, this is it. The following effects occur when enemy tag switches while this character is on the battlefield. 25% to damage inflicted against tag powerful opponent. Activates once, cannot be canceled. Reduces enemy key by 40. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Also seals enemy special move and special arts when an enemy character that is both tag powerful opponent and tag android tag switches. The sealed arts cannot be used for 15 counts. Very, very strong. Right? Of course, it is only for the tag androids, right? But when they came, I'm pretty sure, I actually think the androids were still good even after he came out, because no one ever used him. But he came out, I would say he was used specifically for this. Once the androids were gone, he fell off, right? Which, on one hand, it's like, all right, cool, the androids are now, you know, people are going to use him less because he's running around. But also, now he's useless because the androids are useless. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's a double whammy. It's a double negative. There's no real benefit other than just getting that, like, the oppressive unit out of the meta. So from a developmental aspect, I can understand why they were afraid to make this guy too strong. And from a player aspect, you don't want to fight someone that's broken. No one does, right? Ultra Frieza is broken. And I will actually say he's not as toxic as some other units we fought, like Ultra Rose. I don't know if you guys have played when he was first out. That dude, oh my god, he pisses me off. You know what? Let's use a more recent example. Daima, right? Did you enjoy fighting Daima? No, no one did. If you said you enjoyed fighting Daima, you're fucking lying. I'm gonna be dead honest. Daima sucks, right? That was bad development design, right? They made characters way too strong, a lot stronger than they should have been, and no one was happy. It literally, that was one of the most dead I've ever seen. Like that, the game was so dead during Diamond. No one was playing, right? The fact that I hit God rank should tell you enough, because I don't play this game seriously, for the most part. Daima was bad, right? So that is what it looks like when you make a character, or in this case, a team, way too strong. It just makes everything else obsolete, and you only ever see that one team. It kills all variety in the meta and makes you just not want to play the game. Like, you're fighting the same teams over and over. They're way too strong, so unless you're running them, you're not having fun. It just wasn't fun for anybody. So I can understand why they did not want to make him too strong, right? But the problem is, here, they didn't give him really anything, right? The biggest issue a lot of people are talking about is the damage guard. I don't actually think this is that big of an issue. Making him squishy, I think, is fine. Especially, he does also power up as he comebacks, right? He doesn't get that much more. I think it's only like he gets like 20% every time he uses a comeback. Oh no, it's 30%. Okay. I feel like that's fine, right? He's not meant to be tanky. He's meant to be a second life multiple times. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Right, so that to me is not an issue. The issue I have is specifically his gauge. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, where's his gauge? Did I pass it? I might have passed it. Oh no, one unique gauge becomes full. Okay, so he heals. That's cool. He gets key. Well, if you're proccing your gauge, you're most of the time you're going to be getting comboed. I mean, there is a way to fill it without getting comboed, but, you know. So, gets ki. Gets damage for 15 counts, damage card for 10 counts. Sub count goes down by a little bit. That's... And then, he ups your arts cost, cancels it on his own downgrades, right? That's not bad, but also that is, like, compared to other gauges we've seen, like, take babies or Goku, even Goku Black's was better than that, right? This gauge is just so weak. And again, I understand, like, he's gonna be living for a while, like, he's gonna be coming back and getting stronger, but, like, honestly, I feel like if you wanted what seems to be the purpose of this gauge is to make him a bit tankier, right? Especially with the damage card, right? Most of the time, units do not get bonus sustained damage cut or something, or bonus sustained damage. Okay, oh my god, I'm stuttering like crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to use my words. Most units don't get damage block, we'll just say, when they fill up their gauge, right? So this is actually nice, but 20%, he's not tanking at all. This doesn't do anything for him. It really doesn't. If this is like 60% or, you know, something crazy high, so when he fills up his gauge, then he tanks. That would have been fine, I think, if you just like maybe triple this, make it 60, or honestly just make it 80%, or make it something insane like 100%, right? I think if your purpose for making the unique, giving him a unique gauge that is defensive related to make him more tanky, just up this, or make his disrupt stronger, right? Maybe make this 25, right? We Ultra freeze up on switching and ups it by like 20 or 25. This guy has to fill up his gauge and it's only by 15, which by the way, this is in today's meta, this is so easily cancelable. Okay, I'm stirring a lot. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna take a sip of water because low-key I need to slow down a little bit here. Hold on. Good water. Water is good. Anyways, if your purpose is to make him tankier, I think you either up this or just make this increase or make this go higher. Just make this 25 or 30, right? Or I think you can leave this as it is. Maybe reduce their ki by 50. Honestly, change this from increasing your ki to decreasing their ki by 30 or 50, or leave this and just decrease theirs by 30 as well. Something that just... It is very difficult to be a defensive unit if you only do one thing, which in this case, his big thing here to stop a combo seems to be he increases their strike and blast arts costs, but doing that by itself is so easily counterable. You can just switch and get ki. I think if you do at least two things, it makes it a lot better. This goes for all defensive units. Like maybe, you know, keep it plus 15, but also you delete one card, or maybe you make it 15 and you seal something, right? I think this gauge is so weak that it doesn't feel like it does anything. It really doesn't. And the healing doesn't help because he's squishy. Like the healing does not help. He doesn't heal enough to counteract how squishy it is. So, like, for example, right here, when health is 30% or lower and enemy attack ends. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass. 90% of the time when you get to 30% or less, you're going to die. Like your character is about to die, especially with this character. How about instead of this, just take this whole thing and make it so when his gauge becomes full, just move all of this over. I guarantee you this would make him so much, okay, not so much better, but it would make him better. I feel like it'd make this more accessible. Or honestly, just copy and paste this, put it here and just leave it there too. Like just make his unit gauge stronger. That is the biggest flaw of this unit, in my opinion, is that it doesn't feel like he does anything other than just dies. Like he just dies. That's all he's really for. His offenses suck ass. That's another thing too. He doesn't do defense. He's squishy. He doesn't do damage, right? I think here they were trying to make him a balance. They were worried about making him too strong anywhere, but at the same time made him like too weak everywhere. So he just sucks. He's miserable. Anyways, I could go on and on. I think you get the gist of it. I mean, I'm sure by this point, a lot of you already have your own takes and you've heard other people talk about him. So it's just overall, his kit is just weak. He doesn't do enough to, you know, make his comebacks more worth it. Like, yes, his comebacks are still good. By all means, his comebacks are still good, but I feel like outside of him just dying, that's all he's really for, which maybe that's not a bad thing, but to me, I'd rather just run someone that's giving support or maybe doing something for the team rather than just dying, right? To be completely honest, especially since we're in a timer count meta. Anyways, that's my side. Now I want to go in and see everyone's thoughts about Cooler. I would look at this, but this is everything before we saw actual gameplay. This is just people speculating, blah, blah, blah. Actually, no, let's take a look. Let's see what people said. I want to see if, can't wait to see Aserius complaining when he gets matched against Cooler and Goku. Yeah. Well, I actually ran that myself. Yeah, so this is all just people like, you know, talking about summoning, blah, 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 blah. Okay, another post from the Absolute Go. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I'll take it. I want to actually look at what people think now that he's been out, because I posted this a day ago, which is a little over a week after he released. So we're going to see what my audience is saying. And now, before we look at this too, I do want to say, I mean, if you've watched this far in the video, you probably already understand this, but I do not play this game seriously. I do not take this game seriously, right? I am a very casual player. Yes, there are times where I do take it to a competitive level, like I have hit God rank before. I've never actually stuck in God rank for longer than like I've hit God rank, but I haven't maintained it for a season because it's just too much time that I don't feel like spending. But I have hit God rank before. I've seen what this game is like at a competitive level, right? Even though maybe I haven't done it 60 times like some of your other favorite YouTubers. I've been there. I've seen this game at a competitive level. So I do have some knowledge on what is good at a high level. And sometimes I do also play against higher level players. It's kind of crazy. I fought a 38 times God rank player the other day. That was insane. So I am a casual player, but I do have some general knowledge about this game, so I do feel like I at least have a valid opinion to an extent. Now, am I as qualified as, you know, maybe Goresh or Ryuden or Takashi or Virgil? No, probably not, right? I don't play this game nearly as much as they do and to the level that they do all the time. So, you know, take my opinions with a grain of salt. This is mostly just opinions. This is mostly just my opinion on the character. This is not subjective. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So let's see what people say. I want to see how people reacted to this, right? He's being regarded as the worst premium release ever. Okay, we're gonna pause right there. I do not think he is that bad. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass. He is not that bad. Okay, now I understand why you might say this, and I can get it, but I do not think you can argue him worse than Super Vegeta, for example. We all know how bad Super Vegeta was. DKP. DKP exists. I mean, I literally, he dropped him. The fact that he dropped and I didn't even know. Okay, that's a lie. I did obviously know, but like he dropped. I think I only fought, in my entire life I've fought him twice. I'm pretty sure, maybe 3 times. I have not fought him ever. That alone should tell you how useless that premium unit is. Like, no one cared for him, right? Maybe no one summoned for him because they didn't like the character, so we never got to see how good he is. But the few times I fought him, he got absolutely fucking destroyed. And I remember watching content on him and no one liked him. So even Goresh was like basically saying, yeah, why'd you even release this character? So I do not think he is even in this same discussion. Now, is he bad? Yes, he is horrible for a premium unit. No, okay, I take that back. He's not horrible. He's bad for a premium unit. He's not as good as he should have been. So I don't think he's as bad as, you know, people. If this is really true, I so disagree. So I think that sums up pretty well. Yeah, I can get why people are saying that, but I don't agree. Yeah, literally the first reply, impossible being worse than Super Vegeta. Yeah, literally. Yeah, purple DKB, literally the exact news I was just talking about. Like, it's yeah, no. Also, Cooler exists too. The Zenkai Cooler is from what I've seen, he is definitely worse than Cooler. Sorry, Red Cooler is worse than Metal Cooler, if that makes sense. Anyways, it's like a Dokkan punching machine, never dies but never fights back. Yeah, literally, that is perfect. 125% damage guard. I mean, again, his point is not to be a tank. Although it kind of feels like that's what they were going for in his kits from the extra damage guard he gets from filling up his gauge. They should have made that more, but whatever. But his point is not to tank, so the damage guard is not that big of a deal. Having 2 comebacks is a lot better than 125% damage guard. Or, you know, even if you up this by, like, let's say you take away one of his comebacks and give him, you know, 60% more damage guard overall. I mean, even then that isn't going to do much for him, I don't think. I don't know what the standard damage guard is because it's still a newer mechanic, so I'm not used to it. But I don't think damage guard to me is not the issue. Overall, anyway, like if we look at him from a grand scheme of things, like yes, damage guard problem, probably. But anyways, Metal Cooler, character choice W, mechanical wise double connect W or F. I don't know what F means, I'm not gonna lie. Stats, absolute L, verdict, L release. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree. I agree with this. It is a good character choice, and it is a really cool mechanic to give to. Like, he is deserving of this double comeback mechanic, right? It feels like you're fighting an army when you're fighting him. Like, you're just killing him over and over. Like, he dies fast, but it just feels like an army. Like, that is an accurate way of summing him up. But yeah, overall L release, yeah. Mid release, Metal Cooler gotta be my favorite character out there. Yeah, sorry, bro. You got shit on. Does nothing and fucking dies. Literally. Give Homeboy apply? No. Unironically, they gotta do with him what they did with Goku Black. Like, Goku Black, when he, guys, you probably remember this, when Goku Black released, I think it was a week after he came out, they gave him, let me see if I can find it. They gave him his own awakened equipment. They awakened and equip, or no, I think it was literally just a whole new equipment that it was awakened just for him. Was it this? Yeah, it was this. They literally made this equipment just for him because he was so bad on release. And honestly, this did not fix his issues, by the way. This did not fix anything that was a problem. Like, yes, it gave him more stats. I mean, I honestly think literally if you just maybe up this by 20% more, like maybe make it max of 40, he's probably a lot better, to be honest. That way he's a little bit more tanky. Maybe literally just double this entire row and he's probably better. Offenses, yeah, this is fine. Honestly, like he wasn't really meant to do a lot of damage. I definitely think if you just double this entire row, he's so much better. But unfortunately, they did not feel like doing that. They literally gave him his own equipment because he was so bad. If they did that for Cooler, I'm gonna be dead okay. Deadass, if you take this exact same equipment, right? Maybe change this bottom row to powerful opponent, right? Do not make this LOE, please. If they were to do this, make this LOE, I would throw a fit. If you take this, double this row, right? If you double this row, or honestly, maybe even throw some damage card in there. But honestly, yeah, I think if you just double this row, he would be so much better. Like, I actually think Metal Cooler would be so much more viable if he just lived a little bit more. Literally, maybe 2 cards extra each life, living an extra 2 cards. I would think he'd be so much better. I think this would be fine for his offenses. I think this would be enough to make him, like his damage would be more noticeable with just these bottom 2 rows. Double this row, give the exact same equipment to him. He's so much better. I promise you, it would be so much better. Yes, his gauge is a problem. Yes, like he would probably still age out, but giving him just more survivability, like just stats, I think would be huge for him. I genuinely think so. Bro has 3 lives and people want him to be an LF Kaioken Goku. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Kaioken Goku has Kaioken Goku, the fact that he can infinitely heal from his gauge makes him so good. Cooler doesn't need that, but you know, I still think you just give his gauge like a card deletion or something. Honestly, give it 2 cards deleted. It's still good. Like there's so many little things you can add to this unit that would make him better overall, but they refused to do it. Or sorry, not they refused, but they didn't do it. They fumbled. They really did. And it is fixable if they want to give him a plat. They've done it before, right? With Goku Black and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta a while back, they gave them equipment to make them better. They can fix it if they want to, but they're probably not going to be honest, because I think he's more of a filler release, at least in my eyes. For fans, he's mid. For meta slaves, he's L. I mean, honestly, I feel like in lower ranks, he's probably, I would argue he's probably better in lower ranks. But yeah, you know, that's that. Yeah. He's got great animations. Wish he had a great kid too. Yeah, no, I feel that, dude. All right, I feel like Metal Cooler is getting the LF Zamasu treatment. Exactly the same thing. But in this case, too many people are seeing Metal Cooler as an individual unit. But in this case, it's meant for a team. Like, of course, he's not good alone, but he's insane when you put him with Ultra Frieza or any LOE. He takes really good on the last comeback. And you can use him as a literal punching bag and an insurance so you can keep doing damage. You can literally green card with Cooler, switch to full power Frieza, and use Death Beam. I would say I agree with pretty much this whole statement. I would not say he tanks really good though. This is probably the only part I disagree with. He does not tank really good. Now, he serves his role really well, yes. With the comeback, he serves his role really well. And yes, he does tank a little bit better as he comes back. I think if you maybe up it, maybe instead of 30% per life, do 50%. Like again, this just should make him more tanky overall, and he would be so much better. It's just either make it more tanky or make his gauge do more, or make him heal more, or they just give him one small thing that is good enough to be like make a difference, and he's gonna be good. Like I honestly think if you just give his gauge, you know, maybe 2 more cards deleted, he'd be better. It's like, oh, I say 2 more cards, but 2 cards deleted. Like it's just there's so many things you could do with him. But I would say it's not similar actually. Well, yes, it's similar, but I disagree here because Zamasu when he first came out was not horrible, right? I definitely am on the side where I think Goresh slandered him too much. Was Goresh wrong? No, I don't think Goresh was wrong. And again, take this with a grain of salt. This is purely coming from an opinion standpoint. I definitely think Goresh slandered him too much, but Goresh was not the only one doing that either. Like, a lot of people jumped the train. Like, people can make their own choices, right? Yes, Goresh said some things, but like, y'all can make your own opinions too. You guys don't have to listen to everything someone else says. Like, you guys can have your own opinions. I get that, like, you know, Goresh understands the game to an insane level. Yes, his knowledge is game breaking, or game altering. Like, he knows so much, but people can have their own opinions too, right? You don't have to agree with anybody just because they have a lot of experience. You don't have to agree. And Zamasu was kind of just, everyone just jumped ship. Well, I mean, from my experience, I don't even it wasn't even just Goresh. A lot of people want to say it was just Goresh that slandered him. I don't think it was. A lot of other people were saying he was bad. I'm on the side where I think LF Zamasu was slandered too much, but Zamasu was underwhelming, but he was not underpowered, if that makes sense, at least in my eyes. I think he did a lot of things, but he didn't do like enough damage or tank enough. I think he honestly was Zamasu was more of a stats thing, like dead ass. I think it was a stats thing and give him endurance, right? He's Zamasu. I don't think there's been a single Zamasu unit that does not have endurance. Well, I mean the CMZ doesn't, but ZMZ also heals a shit ton. I mean, so does Zamasu, but I think that Zamasu should have had either indestructible or endurance. That was one of the big things he was missing. And if you just give him more stats, he's fine. Because Zamasu did a lot. His kit was actually pretty solid. I don't know if you guys know his kit. I mean, the fact that he could switch his gauge alone was honestly a really cool mechanic. Zamasu just got slandered too much. He was underpowered, but he was not, or he was underwhelming, but he was not underpowered, in my personal opinion. But everything, yeah, I would say for the most part, this is all true. Like, Metal Cooler is not meant to be a one-man army. He's not meant to be your number one. Like, he's not meant to be your damage dealer. He's not meant to be the guy that carries you to victory. He's there to give you like a pillow, a cushion to fall back on if things go wrong. So, yeah. He makes Super Vegeta and DKB look like competent units. True. He's a good character, but he definitely needs his defense and some of his offenses reworked. Yes. 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 He's fun, so for me, he's one of the best releases. He doesn't feel cancerous to verse either. See, this is what I'm saying. This is totally okay. Like, if you have fun using the unit, use the unit, bro. Do not let me or anybody else make you feel like you cannot use a unit. Use whatever unit. If you have fun using a unit, bro, just use it. Have fun playing the game. This game is not meant to be taken seriously. Like, I don't take this game seriously. Yes, I spend money on the game, but I want you guys to know I only ever summon units to get them. I just like having them so I can use them and have fun. If you do not want to take this game seriously, don't take it seriously. If you want to try to be competitive, be competitive. It is meant for you to interpret the game in your own way. You can do whatever you want with the units that you get. You can spend your current crystals on whoever you want, and this is all true. He doesn't feel cancerous to verse either. Like, Metal Cooler is not a cancer. He's not a virus. Like, he's not toxic, which, in my opinion, is so much more healthy. I would rather a character be slightly underpowered than overpowered, if that makes sense, right? I'd rather have, let's say, a Zamasu situation, right? Where he does things, but he's underwhelming, but he's not, you know, overpowered, right? I'd rather him be a little bit underpowered than overpowered, because then you get situations like Daima or Rose, or honestly, if you want to use Ultra Vegeta Blue as an argument, right? There have been times where units come out, they're broken, and it makes the game so unfun to play. I mean, Ultra Vegeta Blue is a little bit different, but for some people, they didn't like him because he countered so much, which I can understand. But yeah, no, ultimately for me, just if the unit is fun to play against and use, that's okay. And again, the most important thing, have fun. The most important thing, guys, have fun playing the game. Cooler makes LF Goku Black look good. I would actually disagree on that. I'm not gonna lie, but I get the idea. The bad thing about him is that yes, he does have 3 lives, but because of that, he takes so much damage that you end up losing because of the stupid damage done nonsense if you go to timer. This is actually a very good point. him not tanking and instead having comebacks is cool, but for this reason, yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, if it goes to timer, he's just gonna die. And like, or sorry, if your matches go to timer, most of the time you're probably gonna lose. Unless they have another Metal Cooler, because Metal Cooler doesn't tank, that it makes every unit that touches him do damage, and it just gives them free numbers. So I don't understand the hate towards him. He's doing what he is supposed to do, which is true. Metal Cooler isn't supposed to deal damage or tank very well. His whole point is having 3 lives, which make him the perfect character to take all ults and rising rushes. Yes, this is very true, But I'll go back on what I said earlier. The problem is that's all he does. And in a lot of cases, especially in higher levels of PvP, that's too much of a liability to use. I think, yeah, I opened the reply. Yeah, the timer damage because you're taking so much. I think the big thing is, it's fine if he doesn't do damage, but just make him maybe disrupt, right? He doesn't have to tank, but all he does is come back. Maybe, again, make his gauge better. I swear to God, every time I read something, I just think, just make his gauge better. That is truly where I think the unit is so ass. All right, let's see if there defense plot. Yes, give him a defense plot. Yeah, he has some of the best animations in this game. Let's see the thread on this. Okay, there's just a lot of... Okay, yeah, it looks like people just yapping. I wouldn't say he has the best... I wouldn't say he has some of the best animations, to be honest, but they're very good. But that is opinion. So, again, you can think whatever you want with that. That doesn't... It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Wow, cool unit can't one-shot kill everything. Okay, this is also very true. A lot of people do expect every new unit to just be this insane broken character. It is okay to have units like Metal Cooler that don't do a lot of damage. But again, Metal Cooler should have done more. He doesn't, and that's crazy. But a lot of people do. If a unit isn't just one-shotting everything and being the most broken unit you've ever seen, people do get pretty pissed, and low-key is funny. Oh, we got Luke in the chat or comments. Well, while a super cool character in concept and design animation-wise, the kit certainly doesn't give him the respect he deserves for his first premium release. Very disappointed to see that in most cases he is detrimental to his users and isn't very fun in general. I mean, this is more of a subjective or subject. This is more of an opinionated comment because isn't very fun in general. I mean, it is completely up to the user if a unit is fun or not. So like, that this will change based on who is thinking this. But yes, it is a very cool character, very cool design, but his kit just for a premium unit, it isn't it. His double comeback is alright, but it doesn't help if you just die in 2 cards. Anyway, pretty underwhelming release. Yeah. Okay, I think we've pretty much just been seeing. We've seen pretty much everything. We're starting to repeat a lot of stuff that's already been seen, but yes, for the most part. The TLDR, in case you're skipping to the end, or you just, I yap too much and you don't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, Metal Cooler overall, just underpowered and underwhelming release. He should have done more defensively, I would say. He doesn't need to do damage. I just think his gauge is lacking. It's really cool that he has a double comeback. That is a really, really cool thing that he has, but the fact that's the only thing he does, in a lot of cases, it's actually going to lose you the game, especially if we're going to timer counts now, because games are going to get more drawn out, because he's in here, and Ultra Super Saiyan Goku's in here. Overall, just a recipe for what not to do in the future. I hope that if they give him a plat, they try to learn from what didn't work here and try to make him work better. I'm assuming he'll probably get a plat in like, maybe 2-3 years, and the meta will be a lot different by then, but yeah, just overall, unfortunate release, but hey, again, if you have fun using him, use him, bro. Don't let anyone tell you he's not fun. If you like a unit, have fun using him, man. And always make sure you're enjoying the game. If you're not enjoying the game, it's not worth playing. Anyways, that was a lot of yapping from me. Hopefully I made sense. Anyways, yeah, bye.